todos viven en alegría. Europeos, africanos y latinoamericanos. No importa dónde vengan porque pues somos hermanos. De la mano del 10. De la mano del 10.
Friends of teleSUR, welcome throughout the world. Today, I will be another viewer in Europe and in Africa because I come as a spectator. Because Diego has a very special guest today that he will introduce shortly.
Of course, Ronnie, a good friend of mine. The biggest striker that I've seen in my life, without a doubt. And I said that should he hadn't had so many injuries, he would have been the biggest player in history, undoubtedly. And I'm speaking about many very good players. That Ronaldo is also a very good person. That's why thank you very much.
It is an honor for me, Diego. You are a fantastic friend, and thank you very much for inviting me to be here. And speaking here with your people.
Ronaldo, please tell me, how do you see Brazil?
I saw them well. I think that the first two matches, they were very nervous. They are young lads that are playing the World Cup for the first time, and it's noticeable. You can notice that they are very nervous, particularly during the matches. They have missed many basic things, and particularly in their finishing. And during the matches, we have had close to 20 chances on goal, and 18 we haven't even hit the goal. And these are terrible statistics, particularly when finishing is regarded. But I think that as play progresses, we will also be able to become better.
I think that Tite has been able to find the best midfield with the transition. When Neymar plays, they instantly look for him, and immediately Gabriel Jesus is moving, and Paulinho, who comes from the back and is always there as a surprise. Well, I think that this is the strength of Brazil.
Yes, absolutely. Particularly how they start moving amongst themselves. Because when Neymar gets the ball, Coutinho, they leave a lot of space for him. Then we have Paulinho, who always makes these types of runs into space, particularly between the strikers. But I think that we are still lacking a little bit, because during the left wing, they play very well. But on the right wing, it's very lacking still. In order to have the triangulations correctly, so that they could give more balls, so that the opposing defender can have problems. But I think that the lads will improve, and it has been enough so far in order to progress to the round of 16. But
here, nerves are already count down.
Jesus Christ, yeah, absolutely.
Listen, we all suffered yesterday, and we were extremely sad about seeing the injury of Marcelo. I think that Marcelo is a player that any team in the world would like to have in their squad. But the lad who came in for him didn't play a bad game. I think that Brazil is coming from less to more.
Yes.
And I think that the game they won on already over the 90 minutes of the game, they were already better than the other team.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I think that Brazil is starting to play. They don't play spectacularly, but they have improved game by game. And it has been extremely sad that Marcelo got injured, and it happened with Danilo as well. Both of the wings, both of the left and right back have been injured. We had
both
Dani
fullbacks
in order to play the World Cup for Dani Alves. But perhaps Marcelo's injury is not so significant. It's just a spasm in the back that blocked him, and he had to go out. And they had to have a substitution. And Felipe Luis, who also had been operated but 4 months ago.
Yes, I remember. He was just back.
Yes, he broke his foot, and it's a very important injury.
It is.
And he came back 1 month before La Liga finished. And I think that he was prepared, and he came in, and he did not play poorly. And Wagner as well, who plays in Corinthians in Brazil,
I know.
who had already been injured previously. And he was able to recover, and he was able to play. And once Danilo was injured, he came in his position.
He got injured. Brazil had a moment where apparently Tite, well, the backbone of his team, the team that he wanted, was falling apart after the events with Dani Alves, together with the other players that were also injured. But listen, I believe in Tite. I believe in Tite.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I had the chance to speak to him when we had the qualification, and he spoke about the midfield and going to the forwards. He said that the defenders should be defenders. Listen, you no longer have defenders who set you up against a keeper. No longer that. So this is where Tite is smart and knows how to play with Coutinho and with Neymar. And Paulinho when he's allowed to. And when the fullbacks attack, as well as Thiago Silva, who's
Thiago Silva
always
played
excellent.
a fantastic
He's
match
excellent.
yesterday. Yesterday he was absolutely magnificent, and he deserves it because he's a fantastic lad. His leadership is second to none within the team, and it's spectacular. And yesterday he played everything correctly, apart from the goal. His position, how he's positioned, how he covers his strikers, and how he calls the other defense, and how he does the backup with him.
Yes, the backups.
Yeah, and he does a fantastic job doing that. And, well, now we have to play against Mexico during our next match.
That's not easy.
No, it's not easy. In this World Cup, every single one of the matches are tough.
Listen, I saw you a month before when we were together, and I told you, Germany, for me, will beat everyone easily. And now Germany didn't even shoot the target.
I also said that Brazil, Spain, and Germany were going to be the best. Germany has gone home. But look how football is.
That's why it's so beautiful. That's why we're always so encouraged with the first round. Because here we start how they start warming up at least.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you know this better than no one. Here they start warming up to play loose with the feet, because the nerves of the young lads, the ones who are playing for the first time in a World Cup, then here it's over. Here they need to be focused and go to the goal.
And now you have to play to win. The one who wins will progress. So you cannot have any more teams that are going to stay and speculate in order to drop back and see what the rival will give them. The one who wins is going to progress, and they will keep on going forward. And for Brazil, for Argentina, for Spain, it is a lot better. Because they will find teams that are going to want to play as well and score goals. Because if you don't score goals, you're going to be eliminated.
Exactly. I fully agree with the insight of Ronaldo. Because those who will be playing at the back will at max tops reach penalties.
Yes.
That's the only thing they have left. But you know what happens with penalties. 50-50. And maybe you created 10 attempts on goal and were not able to get it in.
Do you know what it means to be able to drop back and tackle players? But let's go back in order to come back after the commercial break. Diego, please send us to commercial break.
We'll be back on the next block de la Mano del Diez.
I'm enjoying this tremendously, and you are as well, because we have two greatest players of the world, the biggest one in history, and the striker that I heard. I'm going to tell Diego, I heard Roberto Ayala, a fantastic Argentinian player, when they asked him, what is the player that when confronted with him, you were scared the most? And he said Ronaldo.
Scared the most.
I had incredible fights with Ayala. They were fantastic fights.
Listen, but if you have this beast in front of you, I was trying to remember today when Ronnie sadly was injured in the Olympic Games, in the Olympic Stadium actually. Well, it hurt everyone who had ever played football. It was a moment where we wanted for Ronaldo to be out because he was carrying some injuries. And when I saw his face, I said, no, why? Why are you taking this? God, why are you taking this beast away from us, God? Why? Because he was the best player. He was unstoppable. Not only playing forward, he has a skill that no one else has. Speed. His pace was completely different. Then we can say that he can cut in, cut out, but he was like tick, 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 tick. And then he was head-to-head with the keeper.
Could you tell us a little bit, because I think it's interesting and fun, the anecdote that you had when you encountered President Putin? Of the draw, of the World Cup draw?
Yeah, the draw.
It was amazing. We were walking down the stairs. Well, first of all, we were there, talking, waiting for President Putin to arrive. And Pelé came to us, right?
Yes,
Pelé?
yes.
And he came in a wheelchair because he had something with his hip that had an issue. And when we were speaking with Putin, and we were walking towards the hall where the draw was going to take place, and we have to go down 2 flights of stairs. And Pelé was in a wheelchair, Maradona and myself went down, and behind them Pelé was there with his security, with his bodyguards, that was carrying his wheelchair.
Yes. And he was in front of all of us.
And one of the security had an issue with the chair, so it dropped. And luckily, what happened, the next person for security was able to hold the chair.
He got it.
Or else it was going to be a horrible incident.
Imagine this happening. Mr. Putin, this is our presentation.
This day was tremendous. But then we have also the photograph.
The picture. Okay, so we were taken there, right? And Ronnie tells me, hey, Diego, and the picture with us. Our picture, come on, where it is? He said, came here, everyone here. And there was a crowd of people, a wave of players coming here next to Putin. How are you doing, Mr. Putin?
Do you want to watch that photograph?
Of course. All the lads are here to see you. And they want a picture. They want a picture with you. But Ronaldo is so shy. So shy that told me, Diego, please tell Putin. Please tell Putin. Please tell Putin. Come, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Come on.
It was a nice memory.
Beautiful memories.
This was very beautiful, spending time with Putin, and historic for each and every one of us. But in a given point in time, the photograph changed because of the protagonists and the people that were there. We had Diego, Armando, Maradona, and Pelé next to each other, both of them together, and I grabbed somebody's telephone and said, I'm going to take a picture of both of you. And I took the picture of both of you like you see on screen. You're kissing his forehead, and Putin is behind him. And I was not in the picture because I was the one that was taking it. Yes, absolutely. And for me, I am in love with football. And I am extremely thankful for all of the generations that preceded me, because I love football. I have seen you play.
You have.
I haven't seen Pelé, but I have seen you play. And I also had Zico, who was, as a child, he was a little bit less than you, but he still was like you for people who supported Flamengo. And Zico was the biggest player for them. And I'm extremely thankful to the generations that preceded me. Because I have not been the player that I would have been without them, because they began the story. It's the DNA. Yes, absolutely, I just kept the story going. And now, the young lads now have to keep on making their own history. Because we have Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, and they have to keep on carrying football and progressing with the history. Because there are millions and millions of children throughout the world that are trying to find and fight for that dream and aspiration and opportunities within football. And we have to give them that and to keep on giving that to other people.
And there's something about this, Victor Hugo, and I would like to tell the people about this. The person next to me, he's a very, very good guy. He's a very good guy, and he hasn't changed at all. Since the first time I met him, I said, what a good guy he is. What a good guy he is. Well, am I right? I was wondering. Or maybe he dribbled around me. But no. I see him today, and I see him 50 meters away from me, and he shouts, Diego! And I said, Ronnie!
Yes, absolutely.
So it is true. With players, well, I respect them greatly. As he said, because we were the ones that took everything that the other players did, so that today we can be here speaking Russian.
I want to ask you to do something. We are in debt with Colombia, who today qualified. And for Colombia, to receive a greeting for Maradona and Ronaldo to comment a little bit about their game. For Colombia and all other the Latin American countries who have had a great participation. Are you commenting in the World Cup? Yes, I am commenting for O Globo.
Yes, we saw him yesterday.
We heard his voice as well.
Like this. He was like Putin.
We will be right back. Ronaldo and Diego are going to give some comments in
De la Mano Del Diez.
We'll be right back. Friends of teleSUR, our third block with Diego, who is speaking with his friend Ronaldo.
Of course, we welcome here with all the love in the world and all the respect in the world. Today, we saw the qualification of Colombia. We saw a yellow stadium. It was like Brazil.
Yes.
They could be confused, right? But apparently, well, Colombia is qualifying in a fair way. Because as soon as they were able to understand the game of Senegal, because everyone was playing at the back and counterattacking, then what Beckerman did was to bring Sanchez to the back so that he would not be beaten. And in the penalty, where Guardado loses the ball, there was no one on the left wing. No one. Well, the left wing of Senegal. So there, the match started to take a different turn. It wasn't a penalty. We spoke about the VAR. It gave us a very, very good hand because we had a camera that was focused on the Colombian player and Mané was on the floor. However, he was able to have a very clean tackle, and this is, of course, very well done by FIFA.
Yes, absolutely. I think that it is extremely good that Colombia and the rest of the South American teams are doing very well. For us that live in football and with passion in our continent, that politically during this World Cup we have been able to see that we are not very well represented, particularly in Brazil, because we have very big political problems in football as well and in social life and aspects. But I think that we are doing a lot better outside of the pitch than we are doing in the pitch. But the party that the South American teams are making in Russia and the fans is fantastic. We see Argentinians, Colombians that are filling full stadiums, and
Peruvians.
teams. Yes, Peruvians, Brazilians. Everybody is having a party.
Well, I think that the ball takes away hunger, thirst, and many, many other things that, for instance, politicians will never give you.
Never.
So football, the one that we give, the one that we leave, and the ones that will continue giving this type of football to the people will only be joy.
Absolutely. Football has a lot of power. Power in society, power throughout the world, power in order to people, to make people believe in football. They are already in love with football, and it is fantastic. How beautiful it is. What a historic opportunity this is for Russia as well, in order to be able to change their image. We are seeing that Russia is receiving people and tourists very, very well.
Very well.
The cities look fantastic.
The stadiums.
Yes, the
stadiums are beautiful. Wonderful.
Yes, the access, everything.
And what you said here, you don't see the color of the shirt of the people. They're all different, right? The one of Uruguay, the one of Brazil, the one of Argentina. They're all different shirts. But whenever they are together, we're all brothers.
Yes, absolutely.
Brothers. In this is what Russia has been able to do, the World Cup in Russia. And that's why we're all so joyful.
Yes, and we have to continue celebrating with a lot of respect for every one of the brothers, sisters, friends, South Americans, and every single one of the fans of football. We have to celebrate, yes, but with respect. We do not want fights. We don't want any type of these things. I was telling you about the new board of FIFA.
Yes.
I think that we are seeing a genuine change.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, yes. I think that football, for a very long time, has been in the hands, kidnapped by people that they shouldn't have, in Brazil as well. We have plenty of problems. During the last 3 presidents of the Brazilian FA, 2 of them, particularly one of them, is in jail. Another one cannot leave the country. He is hidden.
The other one in the Amazon.
Particularly what Infantino is doing is making us be present. For people that belong to football are there, because we are the ones that we created the passion, and we have to be there.
This is what I said today, Ronnie, when I saw you on TV. You make the young boys happy because they're represented by FIFA. However, they give importance to the players, and children want to see players. They don't want to see that man there, maybe 80-year-old guy with his driver, who will not even know what happened if he played in Corinthians, if he played in Boca, if he played in Peñarol.
That is true.
So once and for all, this is the beautiful thing of this. Infantino has given us the opportunity of being able to have our own words in football.
Yes.
Because he's not going to teach us how to kick a ball. However, we can tell him what we think.
Yes, I think that's perfect. Because this could take a little bit of time. Because there were plenty of things that happened in the past. However, we have to work slowly and to be able to improve step by step in order to be able to give what we can give. We can no longer score goals or dribble past defenders, but our responsibility still remains, and it is huge because people love us, and we have to give him the best performance for everybody. I want to greet you and Diego give you a hug, and I want to thank Ronaldo particularly for being here with us. You have made us extremely happy. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure for me.
I love you.
You are a fantastic friend. I love you a lot. And in Brazil and throughout the world, people love you. And it is a fantastic honor to be here. They will keep on speaking, these two fantastic idols of football. And we will be back tomorrow, Diego.
We will be back tomorrow. De la Mano del Diez. With Ronaldo.